High upon the shoulders of a misty mountain, where clouds drifted like gentle ghosts, lay a hidden bamboo forest. This was the home of Patch, a very cute and wonderfully fluffy baby panda. His world was a beautiful symphony of patterns, painted in every shade of black, white, and soft, dreamy gray. From the charcoal stripes of the bamboo stalks to the pale gray of the morning mist, everything was a comforting and familiar sight. Patch's days were filled with simple joys. He would begin each morning with a big, sleepy stretch, then spend hours tumbling head over heels down mossy slopes, his soft fur a blur of black and white. He loved the crisp cracking sound of a fresh bamboo shoot and the feeling of the cool, damp earth beneath his paws. To Patch, his life was perfect, peaceful, and patterned in the only way he knew. One afternoon, the sky grew heavy and a gentle rain began to fall. It wasn't a loud storm, but a soft, whispering shower that tapped a lullaby on the broad leaves of the forest and left the air smelling sweet and clean. Just as quickly as it began, the rain stopped. The heavy gray clouds began to part, and a single, warm ray of sunshine pierced through, lighting up the forest. And then the magic happened. Stretching from one side of the mountain to the other, a magnificent, curving arch of light appeared in the sky. It was a rainbow, glowing with colors so vivid and alive that Patch, who was in the middle of a playful roll, stopped completely. He had never imagined such things could exist. There was a fiery, brilliant red, followed by a warm and cheerful orange. Then came a sunny yellow, a deep forest green, a calm ocean blue, and a mysterious purple at the very end, all shimmering together in a silent, breathtaking promise. Completely mesmerized, Patch stood on his hind legs, his nose twitching with curiosity. He waddled over to a small puddle the rain had left behind. The surface was as smooth as polished stone, and in it he saw his own familiar reflection. He saw his bright white face, his gentle white tummy, and the familiar black patches that hugged his eyes and ears. He looked from his simple two-tone reflection back up to the dazzling, colorful masterpiece in the sky. For the very first time, his own special coat felt incomplete. A quiet question, a gentle ache of curiosity began to bubble up inside him. Why was the world filled with such vibrant beauty while he was made of only shadow and light? A new determination filled his little heart. He would go on an adventure, a quest to find these mysterious colors and see if he could borrow some for himself. It wasn't long before he discovered a clearing blanketed with the most stunning red flowers he had ever seen. Their petals were like soft velvet, and their scent was sweet in the air. A hopeful idea popped into his head. He thought that if he simply rolled around in their beauty, their brilliant red might cling to his fur. With great excitement, he tumbled and rolled, a fluffy ball of black and white spinning amongst the crimson blossoms. But when he finally stood up and shook himself off, he was just the same. All he had managed to collect was a dusting of yellow pollen on his nose, which led to a series of tiny, adorable sneezes. Though his first attempt had failed, Patch's curiosity was too strong to give up. He continued his exploration, wandering deeper into the forest than he usually dared to go. Soon, he found an old fallen log that was covered in a thick, velvety carpet of moss. It was a deep, rich green, the color of the forest after a long, happy rain. Perhaps this color will stick, he thought with renewed hope. He carefully rubbed his back against the soft, damp cushion, enjoying its cool texture. But once again, the color remained right where it was. Patch looked down at his fur and saw only a faint, muddy smudge on his otherwise clean white coat. He let out a long, quiet panda sigh, his little shoulders slumping with disappointment. Feeling sad and a little bit lost, Patch wandered aimlessly, his paws heavy. He followed the calming sound of a babbling stream, a melody of water flowing over smooth stones. The sound led him to a tranquil clearing where the light danced on the water's surface. And there, resting perfectly still by the stream, was a creature that seemed as old as the mountains themselves. It was Sifu, an ancient tortoise. His shell was a magnificent map of his long life, etched with deep lines and intricate patterns in 100 shades of brown, tan, and mossy green. He was so still, so peaceful. He seemed to be a part of the earth itself, a wise and silent guardian of this sacred place. An aura of deep calm surrounded the old tortoise, and Patch felt his own disappointment begin to fade away. He padded closer, his steps soft on the damp earth so as not to disturb the peaceful scene. Sifu slowly, deliberately opened his ancient and knowing eyes. They were kind eyes, full of a gentle wisdom. In that moment, Patch knew he had found someone who might understand. He gathered all his courage, sat down politely, and explained his entire adventure: the magical rainbow, his plain reflection, his failed attempts to borrow color from the flowers and the moss, and the big question that now filled his heart. Sifu listened to the little panda's story with immense patience, nodding his head ever so slowly. When Patch finished, the ancient tortoise turned and began a slow, unhurried journey along the stream bank, a silent invitation for Patch to follow. Patch trotted along beside him, watching his every move. Sifu paused beside a large fern and gently dipped his head towards its leaves. He was inviting Patch not just to look, but to truly see. Patch stared. He had seen leaves his whole life, but now he saw the vibrant, living energy in their color. He saw the bright, zesty green of the new, unfurling fronds, and the deep, thoughtful green of the older leaves. He saw how the sunlight filtered through them, making them glow from within. It was the color of life itself. Their peaceful walk continued until Sifu stopped at a wide, calm pool in the stream. The tortoise gestured with his head towards the water's still surface. Patch peered in and saw a perfect mirror of the sky. It wasn't just a blank white space above. It was a vast, endless ocean of the softest, kindest blue. It was the color of quiet afternoons and deep, restful sleep. As he watched, a small dragonfly with wings like chips of sapphire danced across the water, its blue a tiny, brilliant spark against the deep, calm blue of the sky's reflection. Patch looked up and for the first time truly appreciated the immense, peaceful color that had been above him all along. Sifu knew the forest's secrets were everywhere. He nudged a single, fallen ginkgo leaf with his nose. It was a brilliant, cheerful yellow, a small piece of captured sunshine on the dark, damp earth. Then the wise tortoise guided Patch to an old, gnarled tree, showing him the countless shades of brown in its bark, from dark, chocolatey brown where the rain had soaked it, to a light, sandy tan where it was dry. He showed Patch the subtle, purple sheen on a beetle's back, the dusty orange of a mushroom, and the smooth, cool gray of the river stones, each one a unique painting of water and time. The world, Patch was realizing, was not black and white at all. It was a masterpiece of quiet, hidden colors. Finally, Sifu stopped and turned his full attention to the little panda. His kind, ancient eyes seemed to say that the most important lesson was yet to come. He looked at Patch's own coat, not as plain, but as purposeful and beautiful. The wise tortoise seemed to be explaining that Patch already possessed his own perfect colors. The deep, rich black of his fur was the color of the cool shadows on a hot day, a color of comfort and mystery. It was the color of the night sky that allowed the stars to shine, and his brilliant, clean white was the color of fresh winter snow, the color of the mist on the mountains, a color of peace and new beginnings. These weren't just patches of black and white, they were his strength, his camouflage, his perfect place in the world. A wonderful realization bloomed in Patch's heart like the slowest, most beautiful flower. He looked around his home, and it was as if he was seeing it for the very first time. He looked at the mossy log, and instead of a failed experiment, he saw a treasure of deep, vibrant green. He looked at his own reflection in the puddle, and he no longer saw a plain panda. He saw the strong black and the bright white that made him exactly who he was meant to be. He hadn't gained a single new spot of color, but his eyes had learned to see the endless beauty that was already there. The entire world felt brighter, richer, and more alive. A wave of warmth and gratitude for his new friend washed over him. He looked at Sifu, and his happy heart shone through his eyes. The wise tortoise gave a slow, gentle blink in return, a sign of shared understanding. They sat together in comfortable silence for a while, listening to the music of the stream, a small black and white panda and an ancient multi-tone tortoise. Sifu hadn't given Patch colors. He had given him the gift of sight, the ability to find beauty everywhere, and the wisdom to find it in himself. A quiet, lasting friendship had been formed.
Patch returned to his bamboo grove, his steps light and his spirit soaring. He still tumbled and played with clumsy joy, but now his world was a vibrant painting. He saw the subtle greens, the earthy browns, the sky blues, and the stony grays in everything. He took time to notice the little things, the way the dew sparkled on a spider's web, the different shades of gray in the passing clouds. He understood now that beauty wasn't just about being as bright as a rainbow. It was about appreciating the quiet, steady colors that make the world and everyone in it special. And sometimes, when the light was just right, he would smile, knowing that the most beautiful rainbow of all was the one he now carried inside his own happy black and white heart.
Lessons from the fairy tale. Love yourself. True beauty comes from accepting and loving your own unique qualities. Change your perspective. Beauty is everywhere, in the small, everyday things if you learn how to look for it. Recognize your strengths. The things that make you different often have a special purpose and are what make you strong. Listen to others. Wise friends, parents, and teachers can help you see the world in a new and better way. Stay curious. Asking questions is the best way to start a journey of discovery and learning.
Thank you very much for watching. If you love this video story, please leave a comment below the video and subscribe for more videos update. Good luck!